What's up, guys? We are here today with Abraham Montaño, our special guest. The man is 17 years old, an aspiring NFL kicker, and loves tapatio sauce. Do you love tapatio sauce?
Tapatio sauce?
Tapatio sauce on everything?
Literally everything.
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 So if you're eating, let's say, for example, artichoke hearts, tapatio sauce?
Tapatio and ranch.
Alright, well, Abraham, thank you for being here with us today, with myself.
Thank you for having me.
This particular episode is sponsored by Epura Agua,
Ama tu cuerpo.
Ama tu Cuerpo. Not really, it's not. But if you want to become a sponsor, please DM me or him, but primarily me. So, anyways, we're going to get started with this interview. First question. Do you put on your socks first, your left sock first, or your right sock first?
I put on my left sock first, and I don't even think there's a reason for that. I just comes natural.
Well, from my understanding, you are a lefty, a kicker, right? You kick with your left.
Yeah.
Do you think that has to do with, kind of like the whole dynamic of it?
I think it probably does. I wake up, the first thing I do is honestly put my socks on because I don't want to step on the floor. I'll get sick. But yeah, I think it's probably because I'm a lefty, so it's always that. Even with the shoe, it's always the left. Take it with my socks, it's always the left. So yeah,
Interesting. Now that we're in this topic, talk us through a routine morning.
all right.
I mean, this is a 17-year-old routine morning. You're still in
Just
high
my
school
morning?
last year. Let's just do your morning.
All right.
It's an important part of the day.
So usually I'll wake up. I'll put my alarm like at 6:55, be 5 minutes before 7 because I want to wake up at 7, and I'll be up by say 7, like 7:05, 7:10, and I'll get up. Obviously, the first thing I'll do is I'll open the blinds, check out the day, and as soon as I see how the day's looking, well, that's when I decide what to do next, which is my outfit. What I'm wearing, if I'm gonna wear shorts, or I'm gonna wear socks.
I'm hoping you're wearing socks. Nasty, smelling feet.
Nah, never that.
Sure.
I wear. Obviously, I'll find out what I wear. So, and then I'll obviously go eat something. Obviously I change, but then I'll go eat something. I'll have my mom, which always cooks for us, and then I'll brush my teeth, and then just wait for my ride, and then obviously go to school. Try not to be late because my parents are on me.
Got it. That's so funny you say that you open the blinds and see how the weather is. I used to do that all the time when I was growing up. Especially in high school, I would and being in Salinas, sometimes they can just
Crazy
be
weather.
foggy and really cold in the morning, and then all of a sudden, you go to school with the sweater and sweats and everything.
And it's boiling
And
hot.
it's boiling hot. It's crazy. Facts. Salinas, California people. So obviously, or maybe not so obvious, but I say obviously because of the last name. My name is Enrique Montano. His name is Abraham Montaño, so we are related. No. But I thought I would interview my brother, Abraham, because we don't really get to sit down and talk and actually allow him to express what he's thinking, what he's saying. And also, that being said, our conversations are very minimal, and I would also say, and you maybe agree, they're just back and forth, and it's not like full-on conversation. It's just like, hey, mira esto, or I did this, or blah, 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 and it's back and forth, yeah. So this is a great time to sit down and ask him a few questions, and so that you guys can hear his perspective in life, what he's been through, what he has planned, so on and so forth. These interviews are not meant to be very serious, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm just, want to make someone comfortable while I speak with him. So, anyhow,
It's about having fun.
as you can tell, he's super shy and
No.
But First question from me, and you can ask me questions, but I'll be the person doing the questions, asking the questions.
Let's not forget this video is about me. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm working on this. Like, can't make it about myself. But anyways, what is your fondest memory when you think about your childhood?
Fondest memory, I'd probably have to say just playing soccer in the backyard, because that's literally, we're just hanging out in the backyard. So, for those who don't know, our house used to be only two rooms, a kitchen, and that's it. And we had this humongous yard that we would just, have a kickball with a soccer ball and just run around and just do what kids do. But now that
Travesuras.
Yeah, travesuras. But now that we have 2 rooms and added 2 more rooms and another restroom, we have less space, but we still have space. But I mean that's probably my earliest memory, just having a kickball with you, my dad, or just alone all the time.
I remember we had a big avocado before we built these 2 rooms right behind this wall. And there's a picture where you're chasing me with a water hose, a manguera. Para los que no sepan qué es una water hose, paisas, se crea. It's water hose. It's water hose. Yeah. I got it mixed up. So I remember the picture is you chasing me, like trying to spray me, and I'm just like, yeah. I remember when we used to go back there, obviously soccer. For a while we had strawberries, cucumbers, tomatoes.
I don't even think I was born yet.
No,
I don't remember.
That was when we first moved in. And then I remember the cucumbers specifically because they were really good. And when the season came along, the cucumbers were gone pretty fast. Like everyone just would go back there, get some limon, chile, not tapatio, not tajin. Tajin wasn't invented back then. No. I'm talking I was probably like 10 years old, so like 15 years ago. Yeah. But anyhow, I was such a greedy little brat that I remember I went back there and my dad would say like, hey, don't grab too many, because he would give a lot and stuff. And I went back and I was wearing shorts and tights. I always wear soccer tights. And I put them in here. So when you don't wash these, they have like little prickly things, like the ones we had, because they were organic and they were kind of like wild cucumbers. They have like these little prickly things, almost like a cactus.
They like hurt.
Yeah, and I put them here. And I swear I only had them in there for like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden I went back inside and I took them out and I was gonna try to hide them. Dude, I had like ronchas all over my stomach here. I was like, yeah, dude, and I started crying, and I was like, what's wrong? I was like, I don't know. And she was like, what did you do? She was all mad and screaming. I was like, nothing. And then eventually she found out that I was trying to hide the pepinos, and that's what caused the irritation in my skin. But obviously you grew up, there's a big gap. So our older sister, she's 29, I'm 25, 17. And you're 17, so that's like let's do the math. Yeah. Well, from her it would be 11 years. 12 years.
12 to you would be
12 to her. She's 29, yeah.
And to you it would be 8, which is still a lot.
And then you came along. Talk to us through how it was having an older sister and an older brother, because I only grew up with an older sister. So for me it was a little bit strange in a way. Not really, because my sister was kind of like a tomboy. Not like super tomboy, but she played soccer, that's what I meant.
She played with pure boys.
Yeah, like soccer.
She was tougher than them.
She played soccer with pure boys, that's what he meant. Yeah.
Vanessa.
She's probably, she's watching this faux show as in Metiche. But talk to us through that. How was it having an older brother and older sister?
Well, having them, I don't have them now. I have you here, but then we have another little one. But
well, growing up,
you said growing up. I mean, I guess you could say it was cool because I mean, I had a girl and a guy, and then it was just me. I was the youngest one at the time, and it was cool because I mean, I had, like I said, a guy and a girl. So I mean, if I wanted to do something, I usually would go to you because you're the guy. So I mean, you would back me up in a way, I guess, and then. Well, my sister, she would always just not beat me up, but always
pick on you, like you pick on our little sister now.
In a way, yes.
Yeah. Growing up, obviously, predominantly Mexican community, Salinas, very hardworking people. What is one thing that you saw in your parents? When you reach the adolescent age,
My
like 14, that kind of like, prompted you to take the road that you took.
Which is,
I don't know. You tell me, like, what do you think?
What I went on doing from say
how was your parents' influence? What was your parents' influence on you?
I mean. As soon as as I get older as well too, I mean, the first thing I noticed was just how hard obviously my dad worked. My mom can't take her at the picture because I mean she was taking care of 3 kids at the time, high schoolers, I think, or college students already. And I mean, I still think it's hard, especially for her because I mean, like I said, she's taking care of just a bunch of kids. And it's one woman for like all 3 of us. And well, you need something, I needed something, my sister needed something, and she always, until now, she still finds a way to just get things done. So I like to say she comes in clutch.
Yeah, she sacrificed a lot. My dad does as well.
Yeah.
I think one of the interesting things that I've seen, and especially in traditional households where the dad works and the mom stays at home. A lot of women's work is underrated. Yeah. If I think about what my mom does, she wakes up at 4:30 in the morning to do breakfast for my dad.
And then
goes back to sleep, wakes up to feed you and take care of my little sister, take her to high school. To elementary school, and then she still has to do the house chores. She still has to go shopping. She still has to cook. She spends probably like 60 to 70% of her time in the kitchen, and then she goes to sleep at maybe 10. So she's working from 4:30 to 10 at night every single day, with the exception of Saturday, and even Saturday and Sunday, she's always doing something. So for all you ladies out there, we appreciate your work. For all your moms out there, I'm not saying that I don't appreciate my dad's work because the man works hard, but there's a lot of people who are like,
they just think that the girls don't do anything, but they're
like
you could say
it's just because the guys get paid, and the moms at home don't. That there's this misconception.
They're like, I'd like to say the Rock, basically. They're holding everything down, basically. In a way.
Yeah. But, obviously, a hardworking person is a hardworking person, regardless if you're a man or a woman. Woman. But, moving on to a different topic. You are 17 and a half now. And I think this is an important question because there's a lot of 17 and a half year olds in the United States. Thousands of people are watching this right now.